An important thinking skill is essentializing. Essentializing is finding the fundamental characteristic that explains everything else you know, or the most of what you know about something. You know, we're not always able to link everything up to the fundamental because we're limited in knowledge. But given what we know, most things are explained by that. And we need essentials. Otherwise, to look at an analogy, a person without functioning without a mind would be just like arms and legs and the head flopping all independently in all kind of random arbitrary motions, whereas we're all able to move together and function well because we make decisions, we have a consciousness, we have a mind. Our rational type of consciousness, you know, whether someone chooses to be rational or not is a different story, but our rational consciousness is the fundamental for us. You know, it explains most of what we do and what we can do and how we can behave, and professions and friendship and having animals as pets and using tools in a way that other animals can't, even though some other animals can use tools. Or when you root around and really study things and dig into it, you find that art is a concrete form, concrete representation in the real world of our abstract values, of what we care about. Sometimes just some values, sometimes the most. It reflects how we see the world. And this is illustrated really well in painting, where it's not a photograph, but we select the things we want in the world to portray what we find important in a certain context, and we present it in a manner that shows how we kind of represents how we process things and how we care about them. You know, a good painter won't emphasize everything the same. Certain things will be emphasized and other things are in the background and other things are further behind that. You might have a few scales of value in the work of art or in a work of literature. We don't describe everything about a character. We can't. We have no time to read anything like that, and we don't care. What matters are the basic things about the story, who the character is, what the world is like, how the person deals with other people. You know, since literature is art, it uses language. You know, it's a work of art that uses language to represent what's important to us. Some areas where we can learn about how someone thinks and what they think is the essence of something are like owning a pet or friendship. So with pet ownership, you can look and see, does someone think that the essence of owning a pet is to dominate something weaker or to dominate another animal? You know, do they beat it, mistreat it, chain it, confine it, not feed it very well? Or is the essence of pet ownership to fit in with everybody else and be conventional, to kind of conform like other people have a pet, and so this person has a pet and just feeds it the way other people do and treats it the way other people do and just does it to kind of fit in with people and kind of get along and go along? Or does a person think the essence of pet ownership is to take care of the pet in a species appropriate way and have a good relationship with another living thing, another animal, whether it's cat or dog or snake or bird? Do you want to have a win-win relationship and focus on achieving the good in your life and its life according to the species of each thing? So if you have a cat, do you feed it the way a cat should be fed? Do you like research it and dig around, think about what's the best way to feed a cat, how best to play with it, how best to have a home so both you and it have a place you can feel at home and live in and thrive in as much as possible. You know, you have some limits. It'd be optimal to have an acre around your house fenced in or whatever to protect the cat, but so that, you know, your cat, so they could roam around and be real cats. But we can't all do that. Sometimes we have an apartment. You get a cat because you like them, or a dog, and then you start learning about them and you realize, well, I'm not doing what I can for them, but I didn't know that at first. I'm just going to do the best I can in my context with what I can do and what I can afford. You know, we have limits. Just because we're not doing what's perfect for ourselves or a cat or a dog or a loved one right away isn't any moral flaw on our part, you know, necessarily. Sometimes it is, but you know, sometimes it's not. We have a context and limitations, and we're finite, and we got to live within that. Just live and learn and do what we can. But if we have a dog, you know, we should look at how it operates. What's the essence of the dog? Like, you know, some part of its essence is to herd or to fetch things, you know, to protect. You know, dogs are pack animals, so we should treat it as such. And you know, if it's gonna trust us, it's got to know that we're the leader of the pack. It can trust us for good decisions and food. Same thing with horses. You have a horse, you should be the leader of the herd. You should have it recognize you as a leader in the way that horses do, according to their nature and their species. You know, dogs are not horses. Horses are not dogs. Horses are not cars, golf carts. They're not something to convey you just because you feel like it. Horses are horses, and you should treat them accordingly to get the best out of them and to respect yourself. With friendship, you can see what someone thinks is the essence of a friendship there, kind of human relationships. Do they think it's a win-win thing where you like someone's values and you want to see that, they want to see that in the world while they're alive, and they strive to help you stay alive and be optimal, and you see that in them? Or is it just someone who uses you and lies to you? You know, then you see that friendship to them means something entirely different. It's got a different essence than someone who values you. You know, if someone values you and helps you out, friendship is a positive thing that we have in life to help us thrive and enjoy life and live. Whereas someone else might think of friendship as just a person they use as a tool in their environment to get what they want, or to satisfy some psychological problem, someone they can lie to get things out of, kind of use fraud. So a human relationship would have a different essence in that case. It would have a different fundamental nature to them. A good exercise would be to read what Franklin's research is on electricity, how he listed a bunch of characteristics of electricity and a bunch of characteristics of lightning, and he saw the similarities, and then did an experiment, and he saw that electricity was fundamentally, then he saw that lightning was fundamentally electricity. The essence of lightning is to be an electrical phenomenon. That's one thing that we should do when we're trying to find the essence of something. It helps you see kind of how to think about it and research it. You know, we only have so much time, so we can only do it for so many things. So you got to pick the things that are important in life, such as like politics, friendship, human rights, love, work, things like that, and then pick concepts you use at work, since you use them to make a living on an everyday level. You know, some things in engineering There's some concepts in art, there's some concepts in teaching and education, depending on what you do. Or if you're a parent, it'd be good to study things about children and child development and parenting to help you be a better parent and make your children better people, because you want them to be the best that they can be. That's usually why we have children. And we don't want to get overwhelmed. Doing those things will be enough. But notice it's important, as we said at first, not essentializing. You're not getting the basic cause of something. So it's just like a human body is not controlled by a mind, and all the limbs and head are just moving arbitrarily in random directions. You want to be like a person who has a functioning consciousness that can make decisions and drive the person to, the whole body and everything, the whole organism, to do certain things. When we essentialize, we understand better, our thinking is more efficient, therefore our action is more practical. We'll be better and we'll thrive and achieve more in life. It's good for us, for those around us, for those we love. So if you have any comments or questions, let me know, and hope this helps on bettering your thinking.